So now I completed the different types of tissues in plant, that is the meristematic tissues and the permanent tissue in my previous videos. Now this tissue combine together to form the tissue system. So on the basis of structure and location, there are three different types of tissue system present in plant: the epidermal tissue system, the ground tissue system, and the vascular tissue system. Now the epidermal tissue system, it consists of the epidermis, the cuticle, the stomata, and the epidermal appendages like the trichomes and hairs. Now coming to the first, that is the epidermis. It is the outermost layer of the primary plant body, and these are parenchymatous and single layered. Now remember that the outermost layer of a stem or a leaf is called the epidermis, whereas the outermost layer of a root is the epiblema. So basically both belongs to the epidermal tissue system. Now there is the cuticle. It is the covering of the epidermis, and it is a waxy layer to prevent loss of water. Now, as you all know that the epidermis contains certain pores which are called the stomata in the leaves. Now the stomatal pore, as you know that the stomata consist of the stomatal pore surrounded by two guard cells. The guard cells are then again surrounded by the subsidiary cells. The subsidiary cells and the subsidiary cells are surrounded by the epidermal cells. Now these guard cells are kidney shaped in case of dicot, and it is dumbbell shaped in case of monocots. And then there are root hairs and trichomes. The root hairs, the stem hairs and trichomes. Now trichomes are present on the stem, and these are usually multicellular, and it helps in preventing water loss through transpiration. Now coming to the ground tissue system. Now all tissues except this epidermal tissue system and the vascular bundle, that is xylem and phloem, belongs to the ground tissue system. So basically this ground tissue system includes hypodermis, cortex, endodermis, pericycle and all. And now coming to the vascular tissue system, the xylem and phloem together constitute the vascular tissue system. So now in dicot stem, cambium is present, a type of meristem. Cambium is present in between the xylem and phloem, and it is called the open vascular bundle. So remember that whenever cambium is present in between the xylem and phloem, it is called the open vascular bundle. Whereas in case of monocot, the cambium is absent in between the xylem and phloem, and this type of vascular bundle is called the closed vascular bundle. Whereas in case of roots, the xylem and phloem are arranged in a radius, and it is called the radial vascular bundle. Now, there are three types of vascular bundle. One is the radial vascular bundle, another one is the conjoint vascular bundle, and another one is the concentric vascular bundle. So, as I already told you that the radial vascular bundle is something in which the xylem and phloem are arranged in a radius. As you can see that the xylem and the phloems are arranged in a certain radius, and it is found in root. Coming to the conjoint vascular bundle, the xylem and phloem combine together in one bundle. You can see that the xylem and phloem are present in one single bundle, but not radially. Now, normally xylem lies toward the center and the phloem towards the periphery. This is the normal convention, or this is the normal thing. Now, the conjoint vascular bundle can be of two types. One is the collateral conjoint vascular bundle, and the another one is the bicollateral conjoint vascular bundle. Now, collateral vascular bundle is something in which the xylem and phloem lies on the same radius. You can see, and the xylem towards the center and the phloem towards the periphery. Now, it can be divided into two types: closed if the xylem and phloem are not separated by cambium, and open if the xylem and phloem are separated by a cambium. This is the cambium layer. Whereas in case of the bicollateral vascular bundle, in this type, the phloem strand are present on both the sides of xylem. You can see that this is the outer phloem and this is the inner phloem, and both the phloems are separated from the xylem by two layers of cambium. So that is why it is called bicollateral. Now coming to the concentric type of vascular bundle, in this one tissue is completely surrounded by the other. Now on the basis of this, it can concentric type of vascular bundle can be of two types. One is the empty vessel, and another one is the empty crible. Now this vessel term has come from vessels, that is a part of xylem, and empty means surrounding basically. So amphiβasal type of vascular bundle is something in which the phloem tissue is surrounded completely by the xylem. Example as in case of Dracaena. Whereas the amphicrival is something in which the xylem is completely surrounded by phloem, as it is found in case of Pons, which is a type of pteridophyte. So now coming to the anatomy or the internal structure of dicot root. So now we know that what are the tissues that must be present in a plant body. We know the type of vascular bundles, the different tissue system. Now we will look into the internal structure of a root. Now, if you can see that a typical dicot root basically contains the, as you all know that the whole tissue system can be divided into the three parts, that is the epidermal tissue system, the ground tissue system and the vascular tissue system. So the first or the outer layer in case of a dicot root is the epiblema. It is not the epidermis, it is epiblema. It is single layer, parenchyma, barrel shape, and it contains unicellular root hair. Remember, the root hairs are unicellular. And the cells of epiblema from where the root hairs originate, these cells are called the trichoblast cells. These are the trichoblast cells. And cuticle and stomata are absent in the outer layer of this dicot root. Now, coming to the vascular tissue system, the xylem is exarch, as I already told you, as the protoxylem is toward the periphery and the metaxylem is toward the center. That is why this type of vascular bundle is called exarch vascular bundle. Radial, as the xylem and phloem are arranged in a radius. And the number of xylem bundle is mostly 4 to 6 in case of a dicot root. The parenchymatous tissues is found in between the xylem and phloem, and these tissues are called the conjunctive tissue. This parenchymatous tissue in between the xylem and these are the phloem, and this tissue in between the xylem and phloem are called the conjunctive tissue. Now the phloem in between is present between the two xylem. The cells of outer part of cortex, so this is the vascular. And one more thing I want you to note is that note the shape of this xylem. You can see that the xylems are hexagonal in shape. So remember this. This will come into existence in our later on slides. Now coming to the ground tissue system. So the ground tissue system basically includes all other tissues apart from the epidermal tissue system and the vascular tissue system. So it includes the cortex. So coming to the cortex, as you can see, it is a multi-layered and spherical in shape, and it is parenchymatous. Now the cells of outer part of cortex are suberized in old root, and it is called exodermis. And then there is a, below the cortex there is another layer called the endodermis. Now the endodermis is a single layer, barrel shaped parenchyma. Suberin is present, and the cells present opposite to protoxylem do not contain suberin. These cells, the cells which are exactly opposite to the protoxylem, does not contain suberin, and these cells are called the passage cells. And the cells of the endodermis which contains suberin are called the Casparian stripe. Then there is another layer below the endodermis, and it is called the pericycle. It is also a single layer. It is composed of prosenchyma, which is a type of parenchyma, as I already discussed, and it helps in the formation of lateral roots. Then there is pith. Pith is basically a type of polygonal parenchyma, and is less developed in case of dicot root, or either in maximum cases it is absent. And remember one more thing, that the part of the tissue system below the endodermis is called stele. So basically in any case, either in case of root or stem, the part of the tissues present below the endodermis are called the stele. So basically stele consists of this pericycle, the vascular bundles and pith. So this is the anatomy or the structural organization of a dicot root. Now coming to the anatomy of monocot root. Now the dicot root and the monocot root are almost similar in structure, and anatomy. Just the difference lies in the vascular bundle. In case of dicot, as I already told you, that the vascular bundle is around 4 to 6, that is 4 to 6 xylem bundles are found. Whereas in case of monocot, more than 6 xylem bundles are found. As you can see that there are many xylem bundles are found. And as I told you to note the shape of the xylem, it was hexagonal in case of dicot root, whereas it is circular in case of, or spherical in case of monocot root. The pith is more developed. As I told you that in case of dicot root, the pith is either less developed or in maximum cases it is absent. But in case of dicot root or monocot root, the pith is more developed. And so these are some of the differences between the dicot and the monocot root. The rest of the structure, that is the epiblema, the cortex, the endodermis, the pericycle, are same. Now coming to the anatomy or the internal structure organization of a dicot stem. Now the topmost portion or the external part or the outer layer of the dicot stem is called the epidermis. It is a single layer barrel shaped parenchyma. The cuticle is present. The cuticle was absent in case of the cuticle was absent in case of the dicot root, whereas it is present in case of the dicot stem, and stem hairs are present. Now these stem hairs are multicellular. The root hair were unicellular, but the stem hairs are multicellulars. So remember these few differences. These are very important. Now below the epidermis, there is present another layer of cells which is called the hypodermis. Remember, no hypodermis was there in case of root. So the hypodermis is 2 to 3 layer and it is collenchymatous, not parenchymatous. Below the hypodermis is present the cortex. These are the cortex cells. Below the hypodermis is the cortex, and this cortex are multi-layered. It can be of different shape, like in case of castor it can be polygonal or it can be rounded in case of sunflower, and it is made up of parenchyma. Now below the cortex is present the endodermis. The endodermis is again a single layer. It is parenchymatous, and starch is present in case of endodermis of dicot stem, and it is called starch C. Below the endodermis is present the pericycle. This layer is called the pericycle. Now pericycle is situated below endodermis. It is multi-layered and sclerenchymatous. It was parenchymatous in case of root. So in dicot stem, pericycle present in front of the vascular bundle is made up of sclerenchyma and the remaining with parenchyma. So this is very important, that the pericycle is basically the pericycle in front of this vascular bundle. This pericycle are sclerenchymatous, whereas the pericycle which is present apart from vascular bundle are parenchymatous. And the part of pericycle situated in front of vascular bundle, that is the sclerenchymatous pericycle, is called bundle cap. So, and as I already told you that these tissues present below the endodermis, that this pericycle, the vascular bundle, the pith, this all is together known as the stele. Now coming to the vascular tissue system, as I already told you that the xylems are endarched, because you can see that the metaxylems are toward the center and the protoxylems are toward the periphery. This type of xylem arrangement is called the endarched condition. It is conjoint, collateral and open, because the cambium is present in between the xylem and these are the phloems. Now, and you can see that the pith is present. The part of pith which is radially arranged between the vascular bundle is called the medullary ray. So remember that this part is called the medullary ray. The part of the pith present between the vascular bundle, these are called medullary ray, and it actually helps in radial conduction of water. So this is the basic structure of a dicot stem. Now coming to the structure of a monocot stem. Now in case of monocot, the epidermis is, outer layer is epidermis, which is single layered barrel shaped parenchyma. The cuticle is present, but the multicellular stem hairs are absent. So in case of monocot, no stem hair is found. Then coming to the hypodermis is present. It is three-layered, but it is sclerenchymatous. The hypodermis was sclerenchymatous in case of dicot stem. The cortex is multi-layered. The bundle sheath is the total covering of xylem and phloem, and the bundle sheath is made up of sclerenchyma. So the vascular bundle is also called the fibrovascular bundle because the covering of vascular bundle, that is the bundle sheath, is totally sclerenchymatous. And the pith may or may not be present. And the most important thing is the vascular bundle is basically scattered. In case of dicot stem, you saw that the vascular bundles was arranged in a conjoint manner, collateral manner, whereas in case of the monocot stem, you can see that the vascular bundles are scattered in the cortex. And the vascular bundles, you can see that the phloem is basically, so if you can differentiate between the dicot stem and the monocot stem, you will see that in case of the monocot stem, no stem here is present. In case of dicot stem, stem here is present. In case of monocot stem, the hypodermis is collenchymatous, whereas in case of in case of monocot stem, the hypodermis is sclerenchymatous, whereas in case of dicot stem, the hypodermis is collenchymatous. The endodermis was absent in case of and yeah, one more thing, the endodermis is absent in case of monocot stem, whereas in case of dicot stem, it is the endodermis is present. So as a so cambium is absent in case of monocot stem, so no secondary growth takes place. The vascular bundle is scattered in case of monocot stem, whereas it was in a fixed direction in case of dicot stem. And one more thing, that the xylems, you can see that the xylem are arranged in a Y shape in case of monocot stem, whereas in case of dicot it was present linearly. And below the xylem there is a cavity. This is called the protoplasmic cavity or the water cavity. Now this cavity is present only in case of monocot stem, whereas it is absent in case of the dicot stem. So these are few differences between the monocot and the dicot stem. Now if I ask you a single question that stele is absent in, so your answer must be monocot stem, because in case of monocot stem, the cortex is not differentiated into endodermis or pericycle. Now, as I told you that for stele, the endodermis is responsible because the part or the tissues below endodermis is called the stele. If there is no endodermis, there can not be any stele. So now coming to the anatomy of a dorsiventral leaf. Now, dorsiventral leaf is something in which the two surfaces of the leaves are of different colors. So the dicot leaves, as you know that the dicot leaves are called the dorsiventral leaves. Now the upper surface, now the leaves, in case of leaves, both the upper and the lower surfaces contains the epidermis. The upper epidermis is called the adaxial epidermis, and the lower epidermis is called the abaxial epidermis. Now both these epidermis are single layered, barrel shaped, parenchymatous and with cuticle. And the stomata is present only in the abaxial epidermis, that is on the lower surface of the leaf in case of a dicot leaf. Now the ground tissue system can be divided into the mesophyll cells. The mesophyll cells can again be divided into two types. One is the palisade parenchyma and another one is the spongy parenchyma. Now this palisade parenchyma is toward the upper epidermis and is elongated, and the spongy parenchyma is toward the lower epidermis and it is round in shape. Now both these parenchyma contains chloroplast, and that is why it is called chlorenchyma, as they contain chlorophyll and they are the key for photosynthesis. Now coming to the vascular bundle, as you can see that the vascular bundle is surrounded by bundle sheath. The xylem is mesarch, that is the protoxylem is toward the center and the metaxylem is toward the periphery, and the phloem is present at the upper portion of the xylem, and no endodermis or pericycle is present in case of the leaves. So this is the structure or the anatomy of a dorsiventral or a dicot leaf. Now coming to the anatomy of the monocot leaf. Now the difference is that in case of dicot leaf, as you saw that both spongy and palisade parenchyma was present, but in case of monocot leaves, only palisade or only spongy parenchyma is present. Both the parenchyma are not present subsequently. The stomata is present in both the epidermis in case of monocot, whereas it is only present in the lower epidermis in case of the monocots. In case of the dicots, whereas the bundle sheath cell, actually the cells which surround the vascular bundle, in case of monocots contains chloroplast, and it is called the Krantz anatomy, as I already taught you in the chapter photosynthesis. But the bundle sheath cells in case of the dicot does not contain chloroplast. So these are some of the special features of a monocot leaf which separates it or which differentiates it from a dicot leaf. And one more thing is that in grasses or in the certain adaxial epidermal cells, as you can see, these cells are along the veins modified themselves into large empty colorless cells. Now these cells are called the puliform cells or the motor cells. So with this I came to the end of the different internal organization or the anatomy of the different parts of a leaf, that is the stem, the monocot, the dicot stem, the leaves and the root. So this was the anatomy, the anatomical constituent of all these parts. So I will end this part of the video here. In the next part I will be going to discuss the secondary growth.